Hi guys, how are you going? Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I just want to let you know I preview basically all of the main tournaments in the year: Grand Slams, Masters of 1000, some of the 500s. I analyze the GOAT debate. I talk about the next generation, how they're coming up against the top guys. I talk about Djokovic's Nadal rivalry on different surfaces. I talk about Grand Slams and how that affects the GOAT debate. And I usually preview before the tournament, semifinals and final. And if it's a Grand Slam, I'll preview the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final, and the whole tournament of all these big tournaments. And I really have deep knowledge when it comes to tennis, and I really know about the players, the rivalry, the matchup, how different matchups affects different surfaces. So I hope you can subscribe and we can go on a tennis journey together. But for right now, I'll be previewing the 2022 French Open. That's Roland Garros 2022 French Open, guys. If you were just here for a video that I did earlier, I had a technical problem, so I had to redo the video, but this is the video now, and just ignore any of the others. They'll be deleted soon anyway. But guys, let's get into it. Let's get into this preview, right? So we've got Alcaraz, we've got Nadal, we've got Djokovic, we've got all these people, favored. So firstly, I just want to talk about the draw has come out, right? I think it's a bad draw, right? Because I think it's like Alcaraz. It's between these guys, like Alcaraz, Nadal, um, Djokovic, right? And what we've got in this draw is a Nadal Djokovic quarterfinal. Now, this match could decide the best player in the history of the game. Like, because look, if Nadal wins the French Open, he'll be at 22 Grand Slams, Djokovic 20. Alcaraz is coming up. They're getting into their mid 30s. Djokovic was 2 to 3 Grand Slams behind for many years. He got to 20 all, and now he's back to 2 behind again, right? If Djokovic wins, well, he's taken Nadal's best Grand Slam. They're 21 Grand Slams each. He's got Wimbledon coming up where he's favourite. He's got a good chance at the US Open. The Australian Open, he's more favoured. So it's not till the French Open next year. And he's got all the momentum after beating Nadal on his best surface. So really, this match in the quarterfinals could decide the best player in the history of the game. And I don't think it's a good thing to have a match like that in the quarterfinals. Then the other match, the winner of that will play Alcaraz, and Alcaraz is also a strong contender. So if that quarterfinal doesn't decide the champion, it's definitely the semifinal. So the two most important matches in this tournament will be quarterfinal and semifinal. While Tsitsipas basically will just have to beat um, Casper Ruud in the quarterfinals and Rublev maybe in the semifinals. So very lopsided draw. We've got Zverev on one side of the draw. We've got Alcaraz on that side, Nadal and Djokovic, of course, meeting in the quarterfinals. So I don't think, considering, like, I really feel like there are only three guys that can win this tournament, right? Alcaraz, Djokovic, and Nadal. And considering the matches between those three are going to be quarterfinals and semifinals, and then Tsitsipas just gets to march through to the final, I don't think it's a good draw. Um, the chances, like, if you're the one seed, which Djokovic is, right? Yeah, if you're the first seed, which Novak Djokovic is, right? I just don't think, like, the highest probability is if you're the first seed, you're going to play someone like lower down, like 8 is the most likely, then 7, then 6, and then 5th is the most likely. But anyway, even if there was all an equal chance, it's a 25% chance you would have a Djokovic Nadal quarterfinal. And then it's less than that because, like I said, that the first seed Djokovic is more likely to play the eighth, and then the seventh is the second most likely, and then the sixth, and then the fifth. That's the way the drawing system works. Very rarely do you get one versus fifth, but somehow I don't know if the draws are random. I feel like they wanted to say The earlier they meet, the more likely it is they will meet, and something else won't happen, or they won't. Only one of them needs to lose, and they don't meet. So they're probably thinking we want them to meet as early as possible to make sure it happens. That could be the thinking. They say the draws are random. 1 versus 5 seeds very rarely meet in quarterfinals. I think I've only seen it a few times. I mean, I saw it in the Australian Open 2020 when Thiem was fifth and Djokovic was first. And then, so that's maybe the most important in the quarterfinals. And then the second most important is the semifinals. The final is just going to be just go there and pick up the trophy, basically. So, yeah, I don't like the way it is, but they may have felt like it's a good thing because, and if you want to think the most likely chance to have a Nadal and Djokovic is to have them meeting early because they can't, the chances they would lose in the first 4 rounds against someone not even in the top 10, most probably. Maybe I think the hardest Nadal could have is Aliassime and Djokovic, Schwartzman. That means it's almost guaranteed to happen. So maybe that's their thinking. But anyway, for me, I don't want a quarterfinal match determining the best player in the history of the game. I would like it to be a final, at the very least a semi-final, but not a quarterfinal. And then if that's not the case, I would like to see one of them play Alcaraz in the final at the very least. But that's going to happen in the semi-final. So anyway, that's my speaking on that one today. I'm going to get into the draw and preview the tournament now. So Djokovic, let's look at his part of the draw. He's going to beat Nishioka in the first round, straight sets. He'll just be more consistent, better at rallying, better at defense. Molokon, I saw him in clay, I believe, in Serbia a year ago. I mean, he's going to win that one too. I mean, it should be pretty easy. That's the second round. Nishioka and then Korea or Molokon. He'll win those easily. Brooksby, he hates clay. He's just coming up anyway at 31. He won't really pose a threat. Straight sets again. The only one that could make Djokovic battle a bit would be Diego Schwartzman, especially on clay. He's quite good. Last year he took Nadal to 4 sets. I remember back in 2018 he also had Nadal down a set and a break at the French Open. So, but I mean, I really think like if you're going to match Djokovic with consistency in defense like Schwartzman, you need to like have the Nadal big forehand, Thiem big forehand, to sort of have the power to hit through the court, to boss him around, and to overpower Djokovic. Schwartzman doesn't have that. And what was I going to say? And yeah, Alcaraz, what Alcaraz can offer on clay, that also. So if you can match Djokovic on defense and consistency, but then you have a big forehand or maybe a backhand, even in Stan Wawrinka's case, to hit through the court where Djokovic doesn't have that, then you're going to match him in the rallying but overpower him and get through his defense more than he can get through yours. But Schwartzman doesn't have that. He's a small guy, so it should be a pretty easy run through the quarterfinals. Let's look at Nadal's part. Thompson in the first round. I mean, I really think he should win this one. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Nadal should beat Thompson in straight sets, and then Millet or Wawrinka. I saw Wawrinka against Djokovic in Rome, 6-2, 6-2, looked out of sorts. I don't think he'll mount any serious challenge to Nadal, so he's going to get Thompson, he's going to get Wawrinka or Millet. Then it could be Fanini or Van der Chop for Nadal in the third round. Fanini's not done anything for a long time. This guy Van der Chop's not that great and particularly bad on clay, so an easy match. And then he'll play probably Aliassime or Opelka. Opelka on clay is just dependent on the serves, not really going to do anything to Nadal. And then also could get Karatsev, but even he's not playing well anymore. And then probably the hardest is Aliassime. But then again, Aliassime is quite bad on clay. You saw him against Djokovic, couldn't get a set. Really, Nadal should win all of these in straight sets. So should Djokovic. And we should be ending up with a Nadal Djokovic quarterfinal quite easily, right? So, guys, what I was saying was, sorry about that. Um, yeah, sorry about that, guys. So let me continue with the video right now, right? Um, just a second. So yeah, like I was saying, like I really think that Nadal and Djokovic, like they're going to meet quite easily. No one's going to stand in the way there. Um, let me sort of move on through the draw. Zverev's part of the draw, right, guys? Like Zverev. So Zverev is going to play a qualifier in the first round. Don't know who that is, but he should win easily. Just overpower him there. He'll play Lovocic or Baez, win that easily. Vakina. I mean, he did well at Monte Carlo, not much since then, but probably just he'll overpower him with the serve power game. Move through to the round of 16. Uh, the round of 16. Oh, okay. He would play Fritz. Um, I just think, yeah, Fritz isn't consistent enough on clay. His serve is slowed down. You can get it back. You can force him into the rally. When he tries to shorten the point of his power game, he's not really getting it through the court, so he can't stay consistently in the rally. He goes for too much and he makes a whole bunch of errors, does Fritz. So I really think, right, guys, um, I really think when looking at this, right, Taylor Fritz can't stay consistently in the rally. He's going to try to hit the ball too close to the line, too much power. He's going to make a whole bunch of errors, right, guys? And he's not going to stay in the rally. He's not going to get anything out of his serve again because of the slow clay. So he should win all of these, the Rev. Then in the other part of the draw, I'm going to look at Alcaraz. So Alcaraz is going to play a qualifier, should win that one. Play Kokonakis, should win that one. Then Quarter on clay, like he likes the fast court to use his serve, to use his power game, and all of these type of things, right? Shorten points, take time away, but if he's going to have to, his serves are coming back, so he's going to have to fight in a rally. His power game, they're going to come back, and then he's going to have to go for too much to shorten the point and make errors and won't be able to stay in a rally. And if he is, he's pushed around by Alcaraz. So then Alcaraz is probably going to play Norrie, just two rallies, but Alcaraz way more power, forehand or backhand. So he'll dominate him, and he'll be in the quarterfinals against Zverev. So let's look at the bottom part of the draw. Medvedev against Bagnanis. Oh, okay. I don't even know how to say his name. He's from Argentina. I'll give it to Medvedev despite coming back being bad on clay. This guy's not that good. Barankis against De Jure. Again, I'll give it to Medvedev. I mean, he made the quarterfinals. He'll fight. He'll find a way. Make the third round. Play against Kemanovic, right? Yeah, he'll be playing against Kemanovic in the third round, right? And I really think, right, guys, just one sec. Kemanovic will beat Medvedev. That's my prediction. So Medvedev's going to go out there, right? As we move on here, yeah, he would lose against Kemanovic, and then Let me just see. I'm looking for Rublev. So Rublev, I believe he'll get out of this quarter, make the semifinals. He'll beat Kwan. He'll beat Mariano. He'll beat Paul of America quite easily. He'll overpower Pablo Carreno Robusta. And then, yeah, Pablo Carreno Robusta. And then, yeah, in the quarterfinal, he'll probably play Kemanovic, I guess, in the quarterfinals. He'll win that one, so he'll move through to the semifinals. So let's look at Tsitsipas as part of the draw. So Tsitsipas is going to play Musetti, win that, overpower him with the forehand. Polly, again, he'll be way too good. He's just going to overpower him with the forehand. Evans in the third round, again, same type of thing. Evans doesn't have enough power. He'll be pushed around. Tsitsipas will overpower in the forehand and serve, come into the net and finish. Shapovalov. I mean, Shapovalov just has similar power to Tsitsipas and the serve, but doesn't have the consistency. Will make a whole lot of errors, and when he plays passive, Tsitsipas will boss him around with the forehand. Straight sets there. So Tsitsipas against Rudd. They're just Rudd is maybe a bit too consistent, and Tsitsipas has a little more power and a little more aggression, the ability to come into the net and finish. I think he'll just boss and push him around a bit, sort of the way Djokovic did, and he'll win in about 4 sets in this quarterfinal match, right? So now in the on this side of the draw, we're left with a Rudd. No, sorry, we're left with a Rublev. Rublev and Rudd are similar, but Rublev Tsitsipas semi-final. Now, guys, on the other side of the draw, like Alcaraz against Zverev in a quarterfinal match, I just think Zverev is a bit too passive. Alcaraz on clay is able to get back his serve, force him into rally, get back his power shots. So Rev even needs to go for too much and make errors, or play the passive game. And then if he's passive consistent, Alcaraz is going to hammer his huge forehands, huge backhands, and boss him around and overpower him, right? So it's either going to be Zverev bossed around and overpowered and being passive, or him not wanting to be bossed around and try to play the attacking short and point game, which doesn't really work on a slow surface. So you end up going for too much power, too close to the line, make errors. And if you're passive, again, Alcaraz bosses you around, similar to their Madrid match. So yeah, I'm just saying that in this one, we're going to go with Alcaraz. Probably I'll give Zverev a set because of his experience and he can play quite well on clay. 4 sets to Alcaraz. Nadal, Djokovic, right? I believe that Nadal is healthy. I've seen him practice. He looks better now, right? Now, for Nadal to win this French Open, is his lack of match practice an issue? Sorry about that. Lack of match practice an issue. Well, he was out for 6 weeks, so it's only 6 weeks he's coming back for. He played 5 matches. Does he take a lot of time to adapt to clay? No, he's naturally good at it. So if he was good on hard court as he was, where he won 20 matches in a row, he should be better on clay than any other year, right? But he had the 6 weeks off, so he needed some matches back. He's now got those matches. He's got the practice time. He's going to be ready to go. And if you look at it, his last 2 Grand Slams, like he won the French Open 2020, 6.5 months out of the game, 3 months at Rome, doesn't lose a set, dominates the thing, right? The Australian Open, where it's his worst Grand Slam, not as good there, but out for 6 months, plays 3 matches before the tournament, and wins his worst Grand Slam. So considering those are 6 months, this time he's coming back from 6 weeks off, and he's played 5 matches, not 3. And then again, it's the French Open where he performs. So considering what he did at the French Open 2020, Australian Open 2022 with 6 months, 3 matches, Here it's 6 weeks, 5 matches. I don't think it'll be any issue. I think he'll be just as good as he is as ever at the French Open. The main thing that's going to stop him winning this French Open is health. So far, he looks good, so I'm going to have to predict on that basis, right? So I'm going to say in 4 or 5 sets, Nadal is going to beat Djokovic. Like last time they played when he was healthy on clay, he won in straight sets. When they played at Rome last year, the injury was still there. He couldn't beat his best, but he wasn't completely incapacitated. So he was good enough to win this one in 3 sets in a best of 3. So based on their last match healthy at the French Open, he was on fire. Same situation, not many matches coming into the French Open, won in straight sets. And then with an injury that wasn't quite that bad yet, but he was still good enough to beat Djokovic. I'm going to, at this stage, say 4 sets to Nadal. Could be 5, but 4 or 5, I'll say 4. In this match, what we'll see is Nadal and Djokovic match each other from consistency in the rally and defense and not making errors and the ability to rally at an amazing ability. But on hard courts, Djokovic has a better serve, so he starts points ahead on his first, second serve. Attacks Nadal's second serve with a deep ball on the back line, gets control, pushes him around. It's easier to end the point. It's easier to hit through the court. And then he's starting 75% of the points ahead. On clay, Nadal can get back his serves, get them deep, get him in a 50-50 rally, right? When Djokovic attacks his second serve, Nadal can still get that back deep. So there's a lot of grinding 50-50 rallies, no errors, great defense, consistency on both sides. But see, on clay, Nadal has the ability to have time to set up, to hit the forehand. And once he has time to set up and hit that forehand, he has the ability to hit through any slow surface and any great defender in Djokovic to really finish points, right? So I just think that so he's got time to set up to really hit that huge forehand to get through a slow clay court and through a very great defender in Djokovic, right? And then even when you go to his backhand, he's going to have time to run around, hit forehands. So he'll be able to hit his forehand more than 50% of the time. So he'll be matching Djokovic with defense consistency, but with the time to set up, he'll have the power of that one big shot to hit through a slow clay court, to hit through a slow clay court and hit through a great defender and end points and boss Djokovic around and hit forehands more than 50% of the time. And then also his top spin on the clay courts is going to jump up higher and cause Djokovic more problems. Whereas for Djokovic, yeah, he's matching Nadal with defense consistency, but he doesn't have that one big shot like a Nadal forehand to hit through a slow clay court and hit through a great defender like Nadal. So he's going to struggle to generate pace to get through this slow clay court and finish points, right? Whereas Nadal will have time to set up and hit his huge forehands and will have that big weapon to get through this court and finish points. And that will be the advantage to Nadal. The rest of it, they're both great. Defense, consistency, rallying, but one guy has that big shot and time to set up on a slow clay court to finish points, Nadal, and Djokovic struggles, and then Nadal can hit forehands more than 50% of the time, run around the backhand, hit more forehands. I think Nadal's forehand's going to win it. 4 sets for Nadal. Alcaraz against Zverev. I'm going to say, oh, sorry, I've said that, guys. I've just done that. So now we'll be with Tsitsipas Rublev semi-final. I think Tsitsipas is going to hit the ball big on his forehand, take Rublev's time away, shorten points, overpower Rublev, come into the net and finish points. Most of the clay court matches I've seen, he's won, but Rublev's still quite good on clay. He likes time to get into a long rally, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots. He wants time, guys, to set up on the forehand and finish points. Does Rublev, right? So Tsitsipas is going to, number one, not let him get in really long rallies, attack, rush him, make them short points. He can never get in rhythm. And by also attacking and hitting it hard, he's going to take Rublev's time to set up to hit the powerful shots. So Tsitsipas is going to use the forehand, shorten points, take Rublev's time, come into the net and finish. Rublev will never get into long rallies to get the rhythm here. He'll never not really have time to set up and use his power, but 4 sets to Tsitsipas. He moves through to the final. Then Alcaraz Nadal. I think that what Alcaraz wants to do is sort of shorten points, overpower Nadal, have more power on the forehand and the backhand, and make the points a bit shorter and about his power. But the long grinding rallies where they're moving each other around on clay, I just think that Nadal will be more consistent, more ability to outwork him, to hit his forehand across court into the backhand, mix it up with forehand down the line, and just the experience and the confidence of being there, done that before. I mean, they're both Alcaraz is matching him with the defense and the speed and the movement, and it's great. And Nadal's also great at that. They've both got a big forehand, the ability to finish points. Nadal's got a lot of more power on his backhand on clay, probably a bit more power from Alcaraz. But I think Nadal, when it's a slower clay court at sea level, Alcaraz, it'll be much harder for him to attack and shorten points and take risks. So you're going to have to go for too much power, too close to the line, make a few too many errors. If he doesn't do that, then they're going to be long grinding rallies. Nadal's just going to move him around, outwork him, beating consistency. Every time Nadal gets ahead in any point, he can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forehands till he ends the point, right? All he needs to do is get ahead in the point. And just consistently to finish off every point. Whereas when Nadal's playing great defense, Alcaraz can be a bit inconsistent. And to get through this slow clay court in Nadal's defense and him wanting to shorten the point, it's going to be quite hard. It's going to cause him too many errors. And then again, if he doesn't go for as much, then Nadal's going to grind him down, move him around in the long rallies, use the top spin. Every time he gets ahead in the point, hit 1, 2, 3 forehands. And like I said, the Alcaraz power game to attack and be rallies, but more shorter rallies. It's going to be hard to finish points quickly on against Nadal's defense on clay when he's at his absolute best level. Again, I'm basing that Nadal's health. If he's not, it'll be different. It'll be between Alcaraz Djokovic semi-final, and I just think that Alcaraz has more power to get the ball through a slow clay court to finish points and to overpower Djokovic, but only just. And then in such a case, Alcaraz would beat Djokovic and win the tournament in the semi-final. But if Nadal's healthy, I'm saying Nadal's going to win this one, right, guys? He is going to he's going to push Alcaraz in the long rallies, hit the forehand across court, just grind him around, move him around, play great defense, turning defense into offense. Every time he gets ahead in the point, hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forehands until he ends the point, regardless of how many forehands come into the net to finish points. And then for Alcaraz to stop him doing that, he's going to have to attack, use a lot of power, make the rallies a bit shorter. But on the slower clay court, and the slower balls we have at the French Open, he's going to have to take too much risk and too much power, too close to the line to keep that up over 5 sets. I don't think he can do it. But I'm saying 4 or 5 sets for Nadal. I'll say 4. But I'm basing this all on Nadal winning the Djokovic and the Alcaraz match based on that he's healthy. If he's not, I'm saying it'll be a semi-final. Alcaraz beating Djokovic in maybe a 5th set. Coming down to Djokovic experience versus Alcaraz, better with power and ability to finish points on clay. But I'll give it to Alcaraz. But if Nadal's healthy, I've just said he'll beat Djokovic and Alcaraz in 4 sets. Then he moved through to the final. So for now, I'm predicting a Tsitsipas Nadal French Open final, guys, right? So what's going to happen here is Tsitsipas has a huge forehand to shorten points and get through a slow clay court, get through Nadal's defense. Nadal has the same a huge forehand, right? But Nadal has much better defense. So when Nadal's hitting forehand into Tsitsipas's defense, it's just not good enough, and he'll never stand a chance. Whereas when Tsitsipas is doing it, Nadal's going to make him hit 4, 5, 6 shots, and a lot of the time he'd be impatient and go for too much. And then sometimes when he doesn't go for as much, Nadal can use topspin, turn defense into offense, and then be back to pushing Tsitsipas around. Tsitsipas doesn't have the defense to stand up for it. Nadal does. Also, Nadal's favorite shot on clay is a topspin forehand cross court into the backhand. Tsitsipas has a one-handed backhand, so that's just a weakness Nadal can go to and go to and go to and go to, right? To the back. So Tsitsipas's main thing is forehand matched by Nadal. But Nadal is more consistent. Yeah, Nadal is more consistent with less errors, right? That's Tsitsipas's best area, right? When it comes to defense, Nadal's ahead. When it comes to consistency in the rally, Nadal's ahead. When it comes to Nadal having an ability to hit his best shot, the forehand across court, high up on clay to the one-hander's backhand, just pounding Tsitsipas's backhand, but pounding it high up with the topspin in an awkward place, he can just go to that and go to that, go to that and go to that and go to that. Not much Tsitsipas can do, right? Tsitsipas's forehand matched by Nadal's forehand. And then long rallies, consistency, it's to Nadal. And then the defense, like I'm saying, when Tsitsipas is on top, it's harder to finish points. When Nadal's on top, he's moving the big guy around. Not great defense, not much he can do. He's out of the point. Tsitsipas does have a better. Tsitsipas does have a better serve, but Nadal's ability to defend Tsitsipas's attacking power game. He does have that ability, but ability to stand really far back. So you're serving on a slow clay court. It's hitting the clay court, it's slowing down, and Nadal's standing so far back. So it loses most of the pace. Nadal can just get it back, get him into 50 field at 50 rallies. He's going to out rally him. He's going to move him around, expose the lack of defense. He can hit the forehand into Tsitsipas's one-handed backhand higher up. And then Tsitsipas is going to have to go for too much on the forehand to get past Nadal's defense and get errors. So it'll be 3 or 4 sets Nadal. Forehand into the backhand, consistency, defense, taking Tsitsipas's serve out of play, pounding Tsitsipas's backhand high up constantly. 3 or 4 sets to Nadal. So Rafael Nadal will be your 2022 Roland Garros French Open champion. He's going to win his 22nd Grand Slam right here at the French Open. Guys, I'm going to be previewing the quarterfinals right before they happen. So the day before or 2 days before. So be back for that. I'll have the latest updated information. I'll see who's actually there, not my prediction. I'll see how they've been playing, and I'll be able to give you a better prediction and just focus only on those quarterfinals and based on what's happened the day before, 2 days before. Then I'll do the same for the semi-final a day or two before, and the same for the final. So I've got a quarterfinal preview here at the French Open, a semi-final preview, and a final preview. Those will be my next 3 videos, and they'll be the completion of the 4th round, the quarterfinal preview, completion of quarterfinals, semifinals, and completion of semifinals, the final preview, right? So guys, come back here for my quarterfinal, semifinal, and final previews. And please subscribe, thumbs up, give me the thumbs up, hit the bell notification, guys. I'm going to be with you for the grass court season, Wimbledon, the US season, indoor season at the end of the year, and so much more. I'm going to go over Djokovic and Nadal's matchups on different courts, the GOAT debate, and so much more. So subscribe for all of this. But like I said, my next 3 videos are previews of the French Open, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So that's my video for today. Subscribe, guys, and thanks for being with me. Thanks for watching, guys. See you for my quarterfinal preview. Don't forget to subscribe, and bye for now.